Top 3. Best plant-based foods to naturally lower creatinine and flush toxins from kidneys. Have you ever felt tired for no clear reason? A little puffy around your face or ankles, just not quite yourself, and quietly wondered if something inside is not working the way it should? Most people brush it off, but sometimes your body is trying to tell you something important. Here is what most people never get told at a routine checkup. Today, you are going to discover the top 3 plant-based foods that can naturally help lower creatinine levels, ease the strain on your kidneys, and help your body flush out the toxins that build up over time. So let's start with the first food, and this one might genuinely surprise you. It is not something exotic. You do not need to visit a specialist health shop or spend a lot of money to get hold of it. In fact, there is a very good chance you have walked past it in the supermarket dozens of times without giving it a second thought. Red cabbage. Now, before you scroll past or think this sounds too simple to make any real difference, stay with me for a moment. Because what this unassuming vegetable does quietly inside your body is something worth understanding properly. When your kidneys are under strain, one of the things that tends to rise is a waste product called creatinine. Your muscles produce it naturally every single day, and under normal circumstances, healthy kidneys filter it out and remove it through urine. But when the kidneys are not working at their best, creatinine starts to build up in the blood. That buildup is often one of the first signs that something needs attention. This is where red cabbage becomes genuinely useful. Red cabbage is naturally very low in potassium. That matters more than most people realize. When the kidneys are struggling, they often have difficulty managing potassium levels in the body. Many vegetables that are otherwise healthy can actually add to that burden. Red cabbage does not. It gives your kidneys a break rather than extra work to do, which is exactly what a stressed or weakened kidney needs. But it does not stop there. Red cabbage contains natural plant compounds that help reduce inflammation. This is important because ongoing low-level inflammation inside the kidneys can quietly worsen their ability to filter your blood properly over time. By helping to calm that inflammation, red cabbage supports the environment your kidneys need to function more efficiently. It also contains fiber, which plays a quiet but important role in helping the body process and remove waste through the digestive system. When your gut is moving well, it takes some of the pressure off your kidneys because the two systems work together more closely than most people ever realize. And here is the part that makes this genuinely practical for everyday life. You do not need to eat enormous amounts of it. A regular portion a few times a week is enough to start making a meaningful difference. Red cabbage is one of those foods that works through consistency rather than quantity. Small, steady habits are what shift things over time. As for how to eat it, the options are straightforward. You can shred it raw and toss it into a simple salad. You can lightly steam or stir-fry it as a side with your main meal. Some people enjoy it pickled, which is a traditional preparation in both the UK and across many American households. It holds its texture well in soups and stews during the colder months. However you choose to prepare it, it fits easily into meals you are probably already making. The cost is another thing worth mentioning. Red cabbage is one of the most affordable vegetables you will find, and a single head lasts for days in the fridge. Supporting your kidney health does not have to mean expensive supplements or complicated routines. Sometimes the most powerful choices are also the simplest ones. Before we move on to the next food, I want to ask you something personal. Are you watching this because a doctor recently mentioned your creatinine levels and you left that appointment with more questions than answers? If that sounds like you, type 1 in the comments right now. If you are here because you want to protect your kidney health before things get to that point, type 0. Either way, you are in the right place. And if you want to keep receiving this kind of clear, practical guidance on kidney health every week, make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell. The next video you miss could be the one that makes the biggest difference. And speaking of simple choices that carry more weight than they appear, the next food on this list is something many people already enjoy, often without knowing just how much good it is quietly doing inside their body. That food is blueberries. And yes, you have almost certainly eaten them before. On top of porridge in the morning, stirred into yogurt, grabbed as a quick snack, or picked up frozen from the supermarket without much thought. They are familiar, they taste good, and most people enjoy them simply because of that. But what is happening inside your body when you eat them regularly is a different conversation entirely. Let's start with inflammation, because this is where blueberries really earn their place on this list. When the kidneys are under ongoing stress, whether from diet, dehydration, or simply the wear of time, the tissue inside them can become inflamed. That inflammation is not always something you can feel directly. It does not always show up as pain or obvious discomfort. It works quietly in the background, gradually reducing how efficiently your kidneys can filter your blood and clear out waste products like creatinine. Blueberries contain natural compounds that have a strong, well-recognized ability to calm that internal inflammation. These compounds work through the body in a gentle but consistent way, helping to create conditions where your kidneys can do their job more effectively rather than constantly working against resistance. There is another layer to this worth understanding. Your kidneys are exposed to a significant amount of oxidative stress on a daily basis. Think of oxidative stress as a kind of internal rust. It builds up over time, damages cells, and makes it harder for organs like the kidneys to function properly. Blueberries are rich in antioxidants, which are the body's natural defense against exactly that kind of damage. By helping neutralize oxidative stress, they are essentially helping to protect the kidney tissue that does the filtering work your body depends on every single day. Now, here is something that often surprises people. Blueberries are also relatively low in oxalates compared to many other fruits and berries. Oxalates are compounds that can contribute to kidney strain and, in some people, to the formation of kidney stones. The fact that blueberries offer so much nutritional benefit without that added concern makes them one of the more thoughtful choices you can make specifically for kidney health. They are also gentle on blood sugar when eaten in normal portions, which matters because blood sugar imbalances over time are one of the leading contributors to kidney stress in adults across both the UK and the wider population. The practical side of this is just as encouraging as the health side. Blueberries require almost no preparation. There is nothing to chop, cook, or figure out. A small handful added to your breakfast in the morning is enough to make this a consistent daily habit. Frozen blueberries work just as well as fresh ones for this purpose, and they are often more affordable and available year-round. You can blend them into a smoothie, stir them into oats, or simply eat them as they are alongside a meal. The key, as with everything in this video, is not perfection. It is consistent. A small handful every day or most days adds up to something meaningful over weeks and months. Your kidneys are not looking for a dramatic overnight fix. They are looking for steady, reliable support, and that is exactly what blueberries offer when you make them a quiet but regular part of how you eat. Now, the third food on this list takes a slightly different approach. It is not sweet, it is not a berry, but what it does for your kidneys is just as impressive, and for many people it is already sitting in their kitchen right now. That vegetable is cauliflower, and if you have one sitting in your fridge right now, or you regularly pick one up without thinking too much about it, you are closer to supporting your kidney health than you probably realize. Cauliflower is one of those foods that tends to get underestimated. People know it is reasonably healthy in a general sense, but very few people know specifically what it does for the kidneys, and that is exactly what this section is going to change. Let's begin with what makes cauliflower particularly valuable for kidney function. One of the biggest challenges for kidneys that are already under pressure is managing the amount of nitrogen waste in the blood. When you eat foods that are high in protein, particularly animal-based proteins, your body produces nitrogen as a byproduct of breaking them down. The kidneys then have to work hard to filter and remove that nitrogen waste. Over time, if that burden is consistent and heavy, it contributes to rising creatinine levels and increased strain on the kidneys. Cauliflower is naturally very low in protein compared to heavier foods, which means it produces far less nitrogen waste when digested. Choosing cauliflower as a regular part of your meals, even just replacing a heavier side dish a few times a week, directly reduces the workload your kidneys have to manage. Less waste to filter means more breathing room for kidneys that are already working harder than they should be. But cauliflower does more than simply reduce burden. It actively contributes something useful. It contains compounds that support the liver in processing and neutralizing certain toxins before they even reach the kidneys. This matters because the liver and kidneys work as a team. When the liver is handling its share of the filtering work efficiently, the kidneys are not left to carry the full load alone. Cauliflower essentially helps both organs do their jobs more effectively at the same time. It is also a good source of fiber and vitamin C, both of which contribute to a cleaner internal environment. The fiber helps waste move through the digestive system at a healthy pace, reducing the chance of toxins being reabsorbed into the bloodstream. The vitamin C supports tissue health, including the delicate tissue inside the kidneys themselves. Another thing worth noting is that cauliflower is low in potassium and phosphorus, two minerals that kidneys struggling with reduced function often have difficulty regulating. Many foods that seem perfectly healthy can tip those levels in the wrong direction without you realizing it. Cauliflower does not carry that risk, which is one of the reasons it appears consistently on kidney-friendly food lists. Now for the part that makes this genuinely easy to act on. Cauliflower is one of the most flexible vegetables in any kitchen. You can roast it in the oven with a little olive oil, and it develops a warmth and depth of flavor that works as a satisfying side to almost any meal. It mashes beautifully as a lighter alternative to heavy starchy sides. It works well in soups, stews, and curries, absorbing whatever flavors are around it. Some people use it as a rice substitute by pulsing it in a blender, which has become a popular and practical option in many households across both the UK and the United States. However you choose to prepare it, the point is this: cauliflower is not a compromise or a sacrifice. It is a genuinely enjoyable, versatile food that happens to quietly support your kidneys every time you eat it. And that is a powerful combination. If anything in this video has shifted the way you think about your kidneys or given you even one practical thing you can act on starting today, please take a second to hit the like button. It costs you nothing, but what it does is remarkable. That one small action tells the platform that this kind of content is worth sharing, and it puts this video in front of someone else who may be sitting at home right now feeling tired, swollen, and confused, with no idea that the answer could be as close as their local supermarket. Your like could genuinely be the reason someone else finds the help they have been quietly looking for. Because the best health habits are not the ones that feel like hard work. They are the ones that fit naturally into the life you are already living, and that is exactly what all three of these foods have in common. So there you have it. 3 foods: red cabbage, blueberries, and cauliflower. None of them are rare. None of them require a special diet plan or a complete overhaul of how you eat. You will not find them behind a pharmacy counter or listed as ingredients in an expensive supplement. They are sitting in supermarkets and grocery stores right now, affordable and accessible, waiting to do exactly what your kidneys need them to do. But before you close this video and head straight to the shops, there is something important worth saying first. Please do not try to change everything at once. That is one of the most common mistakes people make when they feel motivated by new health information. They go from zero to everything overnight, and within a week or two, the effort feels unsustainable, and they quietly drift back to where they started. That is not a failure of willpower. That is simply how human beings work, and there is no shame in it. What actually works is far less dramatic and far more forgiving. Start with one food this week. Just one. Perhaps you add a small handful of blueberries to your breakfast each morning. Perhaps you pick up a red cabbage on your next shop and shred some into a salad or a simple side dish. Perhaps you swap a heavier, starchy side for roasted cauliflower a couple of evenings this week. One food, introduced with intention, is already a shift in the right direction. The following week, you add a second. The week after that, the third. By the time a month has passed, all three foods are part of how you eat without them feeling forced or unfamiliar. That is how lasting habits are built. Not through pressure, but through repetition that becomes routine. Here is a simple way to think about your week going forward. Aim to include red cabbage 2 to 3 times across the week, whether raw, cooked, or as part of a meal you already enjoy making. Reach for blueberries most mornings, even just a small amount, because that daily consistency is what compounds into something meaningful over time. And look for 2 or 3 moments in the week to bring cauliflower in where you might otherwise have chosen something heavier on the kidneys. That is it. No rigid plan, no complicated tracking, just a gentle, steady intention that you return to each week. Your kidneys are not asking for perfection. They are asking for a little more consideration than they have perhaps been given. And the fact that you are here, watching this, taking the time to understand how your body works and what it needs, tells you something important about yourself. You are someone who takes their health seriously. You are someone who is willing to make thoughtful choices when given the right information. That already puts you ahead of where most people are. The journey to better kidney health is not a sprint. It is not a dramatic transformation that happens in a week. It is a quiet, cumulative process built on small decisions made consistently over time, and those decisions, repeated day after day, add up to something your future self will genuinely feel the benefit of. One last thing before you go. If someone in your life has been told their creatinine is high, or they have been struggling with unexplained fatigue, puffiness, or kidney concerns, and they have no idea where to start, please share this video with them today. Not tomorrow. Today. Because the right information at the right moment can genuinely change the direction of someone's health, and you may be the only person in their life who knows this exists. A simple share takes seconds. What it gives them could last a lifetime. If this video has helped you see these foods in a new light, or given you something practical and encouraging to take away, please consider subscribing so you never miss what comes next. There is a great deal more to cover on this topic, and every video on this channel is designed to give you clear, grounded, trustworthy information that actually helps you move forward. Your health is worth showing up for, and you are already doing exactly that.